This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 3.5 minute forecast and temperatures out there this morning. We are definitely very mild out there, at least for most of us. We're right now in the mid to upper 60s across North Texas, and it won't warm up a whole lot from what we're at right now. By the way, back off to the northwest in Childress, it's only 37 right now, so there's a huge difference in between areas like Childress and also DFW. But temperatures by this afternoon, many of us will warm up into the upper 60s and low 70s by lunchtime. Eventually, by about 3 o'clock, many of us will only get into the low 70s. Areas back off to the south and east might get closer to the upper 70s and low 80s due to the fact they won't have as much cloud cover as what we're seeing as of right now. Back off to the northwest, Wichita Falls will drop into the mid to upper 40s by 3 o'clock. It's going to get pretty cold there, and obviously severe weather is primarily expected here in DFW and back off to the north and east. The main threats today are going to be damaging winds. That'll be our primary threat. A tornado threat still exists. It looks like our cap should stay strong enough, which means that our storm should not have much of a tornado threat. Even though there's going to be strong level of shear, we're still going to likely just see mainly a damaging wind threat, along with maybe some quarter-sized hail and an isolated storm or two, and as well as a potential for maybe an isolated tornado or two. Those seem like the main threats as of right now, and mainly all of this should stay to our north and east. However, an isolated severe storm here at DFW definitely cannot be ruled out. Here's going through the morning, so we might see a couple of scattered showers, maybe a couple downpours. Can't rule out a rumble of thunder by any means, but most of this will stay fairly, it won't be severe by any means. It'll just be rain. Eventually, by about 3 o'clock, you can see still some scattered showers. This should at least keep our cap a little bit stronger, and again, that will lead to us not seeing as much of a severe weather threat as areas like northeastern Texas has, as well as Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. Eventually, by 8, 9 o'clock, maybe a couple of storms starting to form. Nothing crazy, but eventually 10, 11 o'clock, these storms should really start to pop up and blow up eventually. It's turning into maybe a few supercell storms. Eventually by midnight, you'd see maybe even closer to Denton County. Chance for maybe a supercell storm there. Going into the overnight hours, we'll start to see these storms move through DFW. Primarily, the worst threat should be out here, well to our east, but there could be a couple of strong to severe storms behind that line of storms that forms back out to our east. And eventually going into tomorrow morning, we will probably clear out for the most part. Can't really isolate a drizzle or a little bit of a shower in eastern DFW by somewhere around the rush hour commute. But that'd be about it. We'll dry out. And by the way, this is a far ways out, but going to next Thursday, as I said before, we might see a widespread freeze for maybe once more this season. So don't get ready to plant everything. You can see Thursday, we're going to be in the 60s, some 50s while that cold front moves through that we're expecting then. Eventually going into Friday morning, you can see all of us into the 20s and 30s, and it might even be colder than what this is estimating. So keep that in mind. We will likely see a widespread freeze here across North Texas, and eventually Friday afternoon, we'll probably at least get into the low 50s. But it's going to be fairly chilly, it looks like, going into next week. And here's your latest, or well, real quick, the threats for today, as I said before, are tonight primarily. Damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado or isolated large hail will be possible. But again, going to our 6-day forecast, you can see over the next several days, we will see temperatures really on the decline for Monday and Tuesday, but we'll get back into the 60s and maybe 70s by Thursday, but again, it's going to drop back off on Friday. By the way, don't make sure to check out our site, ntxweathercenter.com. Make sure to check out our automatically updating 7-day forecast, our hourly forecast as well, automatically updates every hour. Very accurate. Make sure to check that out for your latest forecast. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, Birdie's Pro Turf, and THD Vehicle Doorstep.